Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. AK's joining the young team tonight, myself, Robert. So welcome to Oxchair. Evening, boys.
Evening, Oxchair. Evening, Rob. The techie team in the background and everybody that's listening.
Evening, Robert.
Doing a bridge.
Yes, it might be. How are you, AK?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. Done my exams this week at work, Ox. I go to sit them every 5 years, so that's me past a bit of a head thing, but that's me ready to rock and roll for the next 5 years.
I'll take you up to retirement, brother.
No, quite. I wish it was.
Don't wish your life away. Don't wish your life. Anybody heard the start of the show? That was Southside in the intro. You might hear a different Southside tonight, AK.
I think he toasted the goals, put it that way, and sung his heart out.
Yes, everybody's in a good mood today, springing a step. Listen, was it the result that gave us a spring, or we weren't expecting it, mate?
Probably a wee bit of both. I think if you're honest, you kind of looked at the game with a wee bit of apprehension, and I think it's only kind of fair and reasonable to look at that because we've not been playing well in the last couple of weeks, you know. Obviously, Clement leaving the club, and then we got a wee bit of a spring after going 2-0 down to Kilmarnock, and we thought, right, okay, we're back in there now. We're playing well. We've scored 4 goals, and then we get Motherwell last week, and everybody's going, oh no. And then you look at who we're playing against, the manager they're playing against, their form and all that. I think most Rangers supporters, to be honest, would have took a draw, but their hand off for a draw before the start.
Get them back to Ibrox well in the tie. I don't disagree with you, mate.
Definitely, but winning that apprehensively 3-1, that was reminiscence of our Dortmund game. 4-2.
Similarities, mate. They played in yellow. By the way, I've got to say, mate, if we wear that strip all the way through the European campaign and keep winning, I might grow to love it. But that strip, we scored the goals in it. Let's just say I'm not fond of it.
No, I'm in your camp. Rangers should be playing in blue. If there's no a clash in the home team, why be playing in black? Get the guys in blue. That's what we're famous for. But what brilliant.
I'm glad it wasn't just me, mate. But I was happy that they didn't care which strip they done.
Oh, it could have been pink and yellow polka dots if we come away with a 3-1 victory.
So we discussed it last night, mate. The game started. We started okay, and there wasn't too much happening. I think people may be concerned for the off. We might have been under pressure, but we weren't. Then we were knocking the ball about right away, and then it gets up to the edge of their box. The boy gets caught dallying. A combination of Czerny and Diamandi. The ball goes through to Dessers. Bang. Well, bang's maybe not the right word. He sort of put it into the goal. I disagree with your Billy. It was on last night. I wasn't sure it was a goal. In fact, I've seen it back. I've seen the tackle, and I'm still not sure if it's a goal.
No, I know. It wasn't until you actually seen the digital overhead view and how close it, because it's going to be the full ball that's over the line. Billy must have some eyesight if he's celebrating that right away, because I'm looking at Dessers, I don't know if you noticed. Dessers even, he's got his hand in his head because he thinks the guy's cleared it off the line.
By the way, if I was Billy at shop, he might get said that you're creating spots from stuff in the skies. His eyes are that good, you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. A sniper vision, if we could see that.
Don't send him out with the goggles, the night vision and that. Go on, Billy boy, you.
Aye, he could take a fly off on that stuff.
Listen, it wouldn't have happened in Scotland. I don't think you're getting that goal, mate.
Probably no. Probably
No.
no. And, but it just shows you the referee, the technology's there. He's looking at him and goal flashes up and his Knight's
Did
Apple
you see it? Did you see the referee's watch? It
Aye.
was square to make sure the ball was level on the compasses,
Ah,
so he could get the shape of it. Brilliant, mate, on his watch.
Yes, and did you not notice Mr. Greg going out the game a wee handshake after it and all?
So we gets the goal, and then you're saying, "Oh, brilliant!" But we're playing okay. They started winning. Then they started getting corners, mate, and that was where I think people were concerned about it. We've not been great. Our goalie's not been great. We're not the biggest team. Yeah, I mean, I think we should maybe build a pyramid with Yilmaz, Barron, and Raskin, if that makes sense.
We could be doing with a few Egyptians in there. We've got a Moroccan. But having said that, that was a fantastic finish for the guy to hook it over, I think it was Balogun's head into the brilliant finish for the guy.
Aye, and also, I mean, we're a wee bit unlucky. Raskin gets to it, and it's him that sort of, I think he sort of, no one plays it across, it comes off his head. By the way, he's, for his height, he's superb in the air, isn't he? In the challenges he makes in the air. Just shows you it's all about timing, isn't it?
Aye, that's the spring. The spring's everything, and Ronaldo's famous for that. But he's obviously got the height advantage as well. But to be fair to him, the wee man wins his fair share of headers.
But before that, mate, we'd had the incident with Proper and
Aye.
Butland. What's your take on that, mate? I spoke to the Fox today, and he's adamant that it's Butland's fault. And by the way, Albert, I spoke to him as well. I've got a story to tell you about that conversation. Nobody's listening. This is a belter, mate. You'll love it. Right, we'll come to it later on. I don't disagree with the two of them, mate. I think Butland got it slightly right. By the way, Proper got it right. Letting the ball bounce like that. Him and Salah in the last few weeks. But once he does that, I don't know what Butland's doing. And then we get some bit of luck that it doesn't end up in the goal, and obviously Proper takes a badge,
I thought he was knocked out clean, Ox. I don't know if you've seen the game with Crystal Palace and Millwall last week. And the Millwall keeper, it was a very, very similar incident. Well, the goalkeeper but he came out with a kung fu kick and 27 stitches. I thought he'd killed the guy. But see, when the commentators and the analysts, they were all making the same point. See, when the ball's outside the box, that's still the defender's responsibility. Butland should realise that he's no getting to the ball inside the box and maybe hold his position, maybe in the penalty spot or somewhere, and let Proper deal with it. Because he's looking just probably to header him back. But the wee shove after the forward took him straight into Butland. And Butland must have a head of stone.
I think he came off his shoulder, mate. I've seen the stills, mate. I've seen if I can find them, put them in the lobby. I think he's come off his shoulder. I don't think it was a clash of heads, mate. And the stills I've seen.
I thought he gave McGuigan a kiss, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think Jack would do that with the foxy good looks he's got, you know what I
mean? You might have a point. But I tell you, not to be nastier, that to Proper, but Big Ballingen come on, actually probably solidified our defence a wee bit better. We weren't sure about his fitness,
Magnet, everybody went, the ball just stuck to his heat, didn't it? Just his positioning, his desire, mate.
Aye.
Listen, I'll tell you this about Liam Balogun. He'll be one of the guys that, he's come in as a stopgap, he's come in late in his career, but forever. The support of an affection for him,
Aye. Well, after he left the club to go to Queen's Park, I think there was a European game. He was actually in the stand with the supporters coming up to cheer on the guys. So that's how much of the affiliation that he's got with the club. And I think he can relate to it and, give him the mutual respect that he's got, because he realises that the size of the club and the opportunity he's got. It's a wee bit like Defoe, and in essence, I think he even said, if affordability and all that, I wish I was at this club maybe 10 years to give my best efforts at it. But listen, fair play to them. At the age that they're still going out there with the endeavour. They tried their best,
And you're right, mate. I don't disagree. When I seen it initially in the ball and in the net, I was like, big Balogun never get tight enough. He's just on the pitch. But when I seen it back, mate, it's just one of the things that, you know, the guy just takes it early, hooks his leg. You know, I think he does that another 9 out of 10. It might fly over the bar, you know.
Aye, hits outside in the napper.
Aye. Yeah. No, I don't know, mate. He would have protection for the new teeth on them up last night. You know.
Aye, very good. My pal's just back for there. He's got the Ryland Clark teeth on all.
Oh, mate, when you see his new Nashers off South Side, oh,
brilliant. Did they get them after the first favourite at Cheltenham?
Don't know if the first favourite at Cheltenham would wear these, but they suit them, mate. They suit them. So
all the best, South Side. All the best.
You know,
Gascoigne's father said to him, mind. All the best, Gas. Paul. Brilliant.
Aye, but anyway, they pulled back and they were putting us under a bit of pressure. And I think, no, we need to try and get you half time here and regroup. But we've done better than that, AK.
Aye, brilliant. Talking about the second goal here now, yeah?
Yes.
Aye. Again, Dessers, the angle and the pace of the ball, he managed to kind of like take out. It was in that kind of no man's land where the keeper couldn't get to it and no defenders could get to it. But Tierney showed a good turn of pace to catch it. And the deft finish that he had, he wrong-footed the keeper and the defender. And aye, that was us 2-1 up. Brilliant.
Aye. It turns out a great ball by Dessers. When he initially played it, I was you know, hit back and goal. Oh, what a pass. Yeah. Yes, you had to eat a bit of humble there, Oxchair, I must admit, initially. And then, but 2-1 up, you're thinking, wow. We get to half time and you're thinking, where's this game for the movement, the desire, the intent going forward? Everybody's playing okay, you know, and you're thinking.
I was speaking to my dad tonight. It's happened a lot. And the only thing I can put it down to is the players are putting themselves in that shop window, potentially for buyers or that, and they just raise their game. It's not right. It's not right for us as supporters because we're looking for that attitude and application every single game. That's what makes you a Ranger in our eyes, but it just shows you the levels they can get to when they do apply themselves in the correct manner.
Aye. I mean, Dessers will grab the headlines, and rightly so, mate. Well, Dessers and Tierney. I mean, I thought Tierney against St Mirren was awful. Sorry, against Motherwell. Against Motherwell was awful. Yeah, and Dessers wasn't great neither. So, you're watching them last night, nearly the goals, the movement, the endeavour. Yeah, I know Tierney's not the type that's going to go and crunch 50-50s, but he was just looking for work rate. We had that, he had that. He plays the perfect game. He missed control or misplaced a pass. I think we are sometimes over-critique, But 2-1 up at half-time, playing well, and you're thinking, okay. I don't know what you were thinking. I fancied us to score another goal. But I was concerned whether we would keep them out, yeah.
Aye. Well, I had a wee look at their kind of form coming into the match before it, Ox, and they won 3-0 their previous game, and they'd also held Galatasaray 0-0. They usually score goals, but they also concede goals. So the game is certainly far from over, but I think the wee surprise that Barry put in last night was a change of shape. I think they're happy with that change of shape. We looked as if we were, 3-5-2, probably with the ball, and probably 4-5-1 without the ball. We flooded that midfield, and we won a lot of second balls. And
I don't know. I think it was a 3 and a 5, mate. In possession, you're going 3 at the back. Out of possession, you've got 5 at the back. Yeah. That's the way I see it, mate.
Aye. Oh, well, you could alternate it though. You could flood the midfield or else keep it solidified at the back. But it gave you options there. I mean, Tavernier could then maybe step out and start an attack. And wee Barron, brilliant work rate. Raskin, brilliant work rate. Diamondi looking to join Czerny and Dessers all again. I thought it was a really clever move by Barry, and I think the players actually, benefited it.
Aye, but it gives us, for me, it gives us the midfield, even though I thought they all covered a lot of ground, you're no so far away from your mucker, mate. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I missed that there.
You're no so far away from your mucker. You know, sometimes with the two in there, if one gets pulled wide and somebody makes a run away from him, and then the ball comes back, there's nobody there because you've just not got the bodies to cover the ground. That's one of my problems with the 4-2-3-1 with the two midfielders, because the rest of them are up front trying to make things happen, which is all right. But then the midfielders in a decent game of football can have too much ground to cover. That third body just makes a bit of a difference for me. Talking about third bodies, AK. I'll be joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox. Evening, AK. How we doing?
All right, mate. Yourself?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Still a wee bit surprised after last night, but we'll take that.
All day long. We've just got to the start of the second half, mate. So, get your thoughts on the first half, mate.
I'm completely taken by surprise, if I'm being honest, Ox. The formation change as well, in particular. I think when the team line was read out, my first thought was, is it still a 4-3-3 with maybe Yilmaz on the left? But as soon as the teams come out, you've seen them setting up with that back three. And it paid off. Pulled off an absolute masterstroke. So, first half, very good, mate. Positive, high pressure, good intensity, which obviously made the first goal. Again, Dessers kind of quick off the mark, puts it away. I know Billy last night said it was a goal right away. I wasn't sure until I seen that referee check that watch, let me tell you. But no, from there, mate, I think that set the tempo, which obviously carried on throughout the whole half. But again, very good approach to a difficult game, I thought, especially in the first half. Just a shame that Butland decided to put a header on proper. However, I think in a way, I don't know about yourselves, but we looked a bit more comfortable with Balogun on the park.
Listen, proper to the stadium and being outstanding, but we know the different type of players they can. It would be fair to say that Balogun's a wee bit more physical than proper.
Aye, of course. It's just the reliability. Balogun now, and Sterling's kind of in that boat, and Souttar's in that boat. For all the critics and that we've gave Tavernier and Dessers, you've said it all season, Ox, and Golson before them as well. They're always at their work, and that's a big thing for a manager to get consistent selections. To get that sort of momentum going, confidence in the team, blah blah blah, relations building up and all that. I actually thought Proper was okay up until that point. I didn't really see him in any kind of one-on-ones where he was getting torn apart or that, and there has been that case in the past. But on essence, bringing in Balogun, I think maybe the medical team is more concerned about whether it would last the full game. And I think you spoke about it the night before, Ox, because Barry had maybe intimated he was going to throw in Souttar and Balogun the guard to start. I think yourself says, well, maybe that's not the best idea, because what if one of them breaks down? Then you're looking at your bench, and what if he breaks down? Then you're looking at Sterling. So I think Barry was quite clever just to use one of them and see how they went. But it forced his hand and it worked.
Aye, listen, we hope Robin Proper's all right, and it looked a nasty one, and obviously it was good to see him walking off Robert, wasn't it, rather than being carried off, yeah?
It's always a good sign, mate, when they walk off. It did look a bit kind of sluggish, but always a positive when they're on their feet walking rather than being stretchered. It's never a nice sight to see any player be stretchered off, but especially with a head knock. In this day and age, you can never be too careful.
So listen, we were in 2-1 at half time, and the second half started, and they're knocking the ball about and they're putting crosses in, but we look dangerous in the break, and then we gets it right in the break, and Raskin bursts into the box, has a shot, not the greatest shot, but not a bad effort. The goalie sort of spills it, and Dessers comes in, mate, and he finishes it with a plum. And then, of course, old eagle-eyed Billy, he spotted right away. He was a millimetre offside. None of the rest of his nose that he can,
Aye, Billy spotted it. He must have been on that VAR last night, Billy. But I see with the naked eye,
Should we call him the Hawk? No.
Hawkeye, the new. With the naked eye, I thought I was convinced Dessers was onside for that. I thought it was a good on target shot with Raskin. That was obviously going in. Keeper saves it, he spills it, and McCoist actually noticed he tried to play himself onside Dessers, but obviously it's minimal stuff. But he tucked it away well, but unfortunately chopped off.
No, I know. Listen, the VAR what's against you. I've been critical of Dessers in the past. He's set up for offside. I just think he was a wee bit unlucky. If I'm honest, Robert, yeah, people can debate whether VAR's there for they kind of decisions, but it's the luck of the draw, and we've had some go for us, some against us in Europe. I'm not wanting to talk about domestically in Europe, but it was a wee bit of bad luck, yeah.
Absolutely, mate. As he says, he does try and get himself back onside initially, and he is just unfortunate that he's just a bulky boy that his shoulder is offside. But I'm still not convinced with the lines, Ox, if I'm being honest. I actually thought it was onside. The lines weren't the clearest of angles. I know they drew them, but the angle it was at, I'm still not convinced. But as you said, it's a lucky draw. It could have been 3-1 at that point, and I think that would have been a very comfortable and deserved position to be in.
Aye. Here's a point I debated with all the other day, right? With a difference of opinion. It was comedy gold, if I may add. Right, for the 2 years. Right, so we could have went 3-1 up, and we know we scored 2 goals later on, but the game could have been different if we went 3-1 up there, AK. You'll never be able to answer it. We could have went on and won 4 or 5, or they could have got one right away and it could have changed the game. So it's ifs, buts, and maybes, isn't it?
Aye, see, to be honest though, it kind of works two ways. I mean, Fenerbahce could have got a boost there because instead of going 3-1 down, they're back to 2-1 and there's only that 1 goal deficit. But it could also have an adverse effect on us. The heads could have dropped, and we could have went into our shell and the crowd getting tappies and all that again. Aye, but it could have went both ways. But 2-1, obviously, Fenerbahce's still in the game. But the good thing I thought about us is we were still looking for that third goal to gaze the 2-goal cushion, and that's how it transpired.
And then, before we get to the third goal, maybe he's up the park, Jeffrey makes a good run, Robert, yeah? And maybe there's an argument he just delays it just slightly. Dessers again, and my initial thoughts were, oh, this is tight. I never noticed the first one. I thought the first one was a goal. But the second one, I thought, oh, this is going to be tight. Another good finish by Dessers. Well, I say that when I seen it on the highlights last night. I'm not sure if the boy maybe took it off his toe, actually. Sorry, I'm getting the 2 goals mixed up. But the second one I got chopped off might even be an own goal.
You're right about Jeff. He kind of does delay it. I think he's in two minds, though, whether he continue running and then pull it back or play it through. But again, it's just, for me, on the naked eye, Ox, that one looked a bit more towards the offside just because of the way he's running and the way the defence were going the opposite way. But again, it kind of epitomised Dessers' performance last night for me, that he was kind of quick off the mark, slightly too quick if you want to go by the letter of the law, but it's not a Dessers we've seen for quite some time, that kind of sharp off the mark. He's obviously been scoring some goals of late, so he's got confidence. He's took it into last night's performance and he could have had a hat-trick. So I thought he worked the corner and really well, leading the line as a number 9. But again, it's just that luck of the draw, mate. But again, it would have been a well-deserved 2-goal lead again.
Aye. It was a decent move and everything was right bar that fraction they care.
You're talking fraction of inches, you know. I mean, if you just gives him that ball just that split second earlier, he's onside and he's onto it. And you're right, I think he kind of squaffs it off the guy, but it went in the back of the net, so we wouldn't have cared. But I don't know if you've seen it there, Rox. I put it in the chat there. Arsene Wenger's bringing a proposal through FIFA. I think probably implemented it in next World Cup, where offside is basically your full body's got to be in front of the guy. So that would have been 2 goals that the Dessers would have got last night. You give the advantage forwards.
The wise Albert said that if any, he likes the rule that if any part of your body's onside, it should and I think he's got something there. Yeah,
it's pretty much saying that. You know, even if you're ahead of the defender, as long as your full body's no ahead of the defender, there's got to be a like air between the defender and the attacker for the attacker to be cleared offside, because you want to see goals, and that's fractions of inches. Dessers is denied with 2 goals there, you know.
Yeah, that will change defending, you know.
Oh, aye.
You know, whereas the forwards can't gamble just now. I'll go back to the forwards taking the gamble because the defender gets it slightly wrong their own side, you know.
Aye.
Yeah.
But your defensive line could push further forward then, couldn't they? And leave a load of gaps.
That'll change defending, Akey. You know what I mean?
Oh, aye. Yep.
You know. So then, Robert, well, we thought, let's maybe hold on 2-1. They'd put a few crosses in. We were defending well. Did a couple of shots. Later on, Butland did a decent save. But then, arguably the best move in the match, mate. The ball gets played out. Dessers played it back to Raskin. Raskin makes a pass to Cherny, who's ran for his own half, so you're confident he can't be getting offside. And he goes through and he puts it in. Great goal, Robert. Great goal.
Great football, Ox. The pass from Raskin for me was absolutely exceptional. It splits the whole defence. If he overhits it, it's into the keeper, and if he underhits it, the defender intercepts it. But he's got it on point. Cherny keeps control of the ball. Although he's running at pace, Ox, what I liked was how controlled of the ball he had, even up to the last point, and just slots it away nicely, which we've seen a few times this season over the course of games, especially in Europe. It does that. It takes his time, composes it, and finds a finish, and that does put the game to bed a wee bit.
Aye, I'd take that all day long, yeah. Take that all day long. It was a great goal by Kerr.
Oh, brilliant. Cool finish for Cherny. I mean, 10 out of 10 for the way he run onto the ball. He's running for his own half, but what a pass for Raskin to have the vision to see that the high line of Fenerbahce, and Cherny's on his bike right away. Again, the first touch, the second touch, and then bang, hit it early, don't let the keeper set. Great finish with Cherny.
Aye. I think that really took the steam out of them a bit, yeah. They huffed and puffed, mate, and there was one shot that Butland got down to his right. I actually thought that might have been chopped off, AK. Don't know if you noticed that. I think Big Jekyll might have been offside. But I've not really seen it back. That was my initial thoughts last night because he played the cup back, but need to see it. But the game finished. I thought Sterling came on done all right. I didn't think that Hadji or Lawrence contributed much. But listen, it was a real squad team performance, and congratulations to all the players and congratulations to the management staff, the management team. AK.
Oh, 100%. Well, in essence, the team that we had on Saturday, he took out Lawrence, he took out Agamani, and he took out Hadji. Is that right? And he brought in Barron, Ridvan, and who would be the other one?
Well, he started with Suter and Proper, yeah.
Yep.
Brought in Ridvan, took out Hadji and Higaman. That was the changes, wasn't it? And shuffled the pack a bit, yeah.
Well, see if you look at it, he's took out creative players to bring in more defensive players and we actually attack better. It's a funny old game, isn't it?
Aye, at times, mate. At times, aye. It's mental. Robert?
Aye, it certainly is, mate. Just touching on the two names you mentioned there, Sterling and Barron. I thought Barron coming into the game, playing the full game itself, not having any minutes in the leg since obviously getting injured against United, I thought he played really well as well. And then they were using St Maximin a lot down their left-hand side. Credit to Ferguson and McCann and the rest of the staff noticing that and making the change for Sterling to come on because it matched him up. And the minute Sterling was on, the boy never got a look in. He was beating Yilmaz, he was getting deliveries in, but as soon as Sterling was on, he had his number. So credit to the staff for noticing that. They realised there was an issue, a threat of danger, which I don't think under the previous manager you'd have seen a change happen there. So credit where it's credit's due, mate.
Aye, definitely, Rob. Aye, it's you never know. It's in hindsight, isn't it? You don't know what Clement would have done. I mean, I'm not into all this bashing Clement because he's away now. The guy had 7 away
Listen, he
victories.
got good results as well, okay, didn't he?
Aye, he went 7 undefeated away for him, and that's not to be sniffed at, you know. So who's to say whether he would have made changes? Maybe aye, maybe no. But the current coaching staff team did recognise it. They've changed the formation. And it suited it, and we've got a brilliant result to take into the second leg, but it's only half time. I think Barry will warn them that, and I think Mourinho's also intimated that. I don't know, what did you make of his interview after the game, saying that it was actually a good result, because if that was 4 or 5, it would have been tie over.
Well, I get his point, mate. I didn't disagree with he said. You know,
Yeah.
and he knows that obviously they had some possession and put crosses in, but we had the ball in the net twice. And so potentially it could have been worse. I get that. But listen, you don't know if you get the other goals, if you get the first one, mate. That's the point I was making with Alberti. But we'll say we agreed to disagree, you know. It was a great conversation, mate. Great conversation. But anyway, listen, I think we better get these phone lines opened up.
Aye, brilliant.
Aye, absolutely.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yes, great result, and AK makes a point, Robert. It's only half time. Of course, the next goal could be crucial. Listen, but partly would be happy if there's no more goals in the time. We're through, but you know, if we score, I think the pendulum goes too far away for them. But if they score, the game's on. Yeah, so it's only half time, Robert.
100%, mate. 100%. We've been in this position before. We're accustomed to European football now, and we know that even a 2-goal lead, as you said, a goal for them next week can change the whole atmosphere, the pendulum. So I think it's important that we take in the same mindset as we approached the game last night into next Thursday. And we basically treat it as it's 0-0. I know the scoreline will reflect a 3-1, but you've got to just play the game in front of you rather than the previous one. You don't play the occasion, as the old saying goes. So take it back home, back to Ibrox with the crowd behind us, and hopefully we get the first goal, and again that spurs the crowd on as well, and you get a wee bit of excitement in your bones.
Aye. AK, aye. You know, it's listen, it's half time. You made that point, and I don't disagree with you.
Aye, it's Barry saying the right things. You know, he's experienced enough as a player to know. He's seen games change at half time, and you think back to his first game in charge against Kilmarnock. That could have been 2-3-0 down before we scored just before but 10 minutes, quarter an hour before half time. See if we don't get that goal and we're 2-0 down at half time, Marks, do we come out and batter them and win 4-2 the way we did? You know, that just getting that goal there and keeping it 2-1, you know, we came out there and it gave us the confidence, the momentum. Momentum's everything. You said yourself, if Fenerbahce come and the silence the crowd and it turns the crowd, our home form the last 3 games hasn't been great. So Mourinho will probably tell his team that there's a lot of experienced players in that Fenerbahce team. If they can silence the Ibrox crowd and turn them, they're right in this tie, so we've got to be wary.
Aye, but they're also playing the clock, so there's no pressure. Listen, I think watching the game last night, I'm reasonably confident we'll score at Ibrox. Yeah, if that makes sense, Robert.
Aye, there's goals in us, Ox. Again, last night, we know we can touch on and say it could have been 5, but I was a bit surprised the way they approached the game, attacking, but defensively, there was a lot of chances there that we could have took, and I think there will be chances come Thursday night at Ibrox. So it is that first important goal. But as AK says, the home form of late was at 1 goal in the last 3 home games. So we need to be clinical and just kind of put the tie to bed.
Aye. We've given ourselves a right good fighting chance. Right, who did you see as outstanding performers last night, AK?
I thought the spine of the team was really good last night. For Butland, Suter, Balogun, Barron, Raskin, Cherny and Dessers. I thought all of them, and even Diamondi, picking one out of them, I would probably get to Dessers, to be honest, with his goal involvements and his work rate and his link-up play. I think he was the outstanding one, but the other ones that I've just mentioned there, they weren't far behind him, and it was a great team performance last night.
Yourself, Robert?
It is difficult, like AK says, to pick a player out of that. It was a collective team performance. If I'm going to pick one, I'd probably pick Raskin. I thought he controlled the midfield. The pass for Cherny was icing on the cake. His performance, his defensive work as well. He's been quite exceptional since he's come into the squad a couple of months ago. He stayed fit, and you can see the impact he's got on the squad as well. And also his kind of leadership on the park as well. We're starting to see a lot more of, especially since he was given the captain's armband during Tav's absence. So I'd go with Raskin.
I don't disagree with you. One of my highlights for Raskin last night was his discussion with Butland with the proper incident, AK. I don't know if you've seen it.
Remind me.
When Proper was doing it, he was getting Butland tight. What you playing it?
Oh, aye, quite right then. It shows he cares, and you're entitled to dig out players, That could have been a really serious scenario for Proper as a health, but also we could have lost a goal out of that because he has stupidity in coming out there in the first place. So, if he's made a mistake, dig him out. I don't have a problem with that.
Aye. Did you pick up that, Robert?
I did. I can only imagine the choice words that were said. Probably not allowed to say them on air, but certainly had a go at him anyway, that's for sure.
Aye, I thought he was immense last night, Nico Raskin. But it's also hard to see by Dessers. He was involved in the bogging in the net 5 times last night, AK.
Aye, listen, you've spoken about it all season, we've spoken about it for the last 2 seasons, but when you break down his stats, you could maybe dig out his stats. I think he's maybe about 60 odd games, 70 games or something like that, and he's scored 40 odd goals, and his stats aren't they too bad. But we just tend to see the misses and the missed opportunities and that. But last night, no, that was a good 9 out of 10 performance for me last night, all in all, and he's really unlucky he's not walking away with a match ball, Dave.
Aye. He's some man, Robert, isn't he? He's some man. You've got to. He frustrates you, and then he's done Betis away, Man United away, Fenerbahce away. It's frightening, isn't it?
He is, as you always say, mate, he's the biggest enigma at the club that we've ever known. But what you can't for Locks is his work ethic. He's always there, 100% effort. And even if he's not scoring goals, the things he does off the ball, he works hard. He's always playing with a smile on his face. And when he is disappointed in his own performance, he's always keen to improve on it in the next game. And as I said, he's got the goals. He's led the line last night really well. It was a lone striker, number 9 for Rangers should, so it is hard to kind of see past him, but you could have picked anyone in the team, mate, honestly. Suter as well, I thought, was immense as well. Last minute tackles, blocks, putting his head in where it hurt, getting headers on the ball, Balogun even winning every single aerial battle. You could pick anyone, Ox, I don't think there'd be many arguments at all.
No, I get that. Just quickly, AK, Cyril Dessers starts. He's been involved in 97 games, 68 starts, 29 substitute appearances. So in 68 starts, because I've not got the data, how much he's been actually on the park. And I know he's scored a few goals as coming off the bench. Arguably, there was a spell there where that was his best position, coming off the bench. But he scored 44 goals, 22 last season, and 22 this season, AK.
That's what I mean. With you could say what two goals every 3 games, roughly, give or take a wee percentage or two. But that's pretty good stats. On reflection, he turns up for his work, and that's a big thing. See, with Danilo there, pushing him for a starter with Igamani, no fluctuating his performance. Dessers is there, and he just seems to grab the shirt off of Igamani as your main striker. And I think Barry's actually gave him that confidence. He likes him. He likes his attitude, his endeavour, and he's thriving on that. See, when the manager gives you the arm around the shoulder and tells him you've got to be my man, and it just needs something as simple as that. So that might be the case. He might not have that relationship with Clement, but Barry has, and he's recognised that, and he's thriving off it. Good luck to him. Keep it going.
Yes, mate.
I think you've got to give Dessers credit as well. Obviously, Igamani had a bit of form, and Dessers was out on the cold, obviously on the bench making his sub appearances. But when Igamani started kind of drying up with the goals, I know he moved position to kind of accommodate Dessers, but Dessers came in, started scoring goals, and I think a big factor to that is possibly the addition of Billy Dodds. I think he's been working with strikers very closely, and Dessers is certainly taking any information on board and becoming more clinical. Let's hope it continues, as AK says.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, 22 goals last season, 22 in rising this season. So you're right, AK. His goal return is okay. 6 to 8 starts. It's pretty much 2 and 3 in it.
Aye, and that's not to be sniffed at. It's not to be sniffed at all. But listen, I don't know if you've seen the training videos. See where they're running about the 2 in the middle and they have a circle about 10. Have you seen Billy Dodds involved in that?
No.
He's chasing it about like a wee hare. He's getting really, really involved in it. It's just good to see.
Aye, they'll have somebody in the coaching staff that plays the link, and he gets involved with the players. It's pretty common, and Robert, in it.
Aye, it is. It's certainly something that, I'll be honest, I didn't see a lot of with Clement staff before, but I think these guys obviously know the standards, the expectations, and they're enjoying it as well. As AK says, it's good to see a bit of enjoyment about the training, but you're starting to see some of the wee video clips that you see the training. You're starting to kind of see wee glimpses of what they're doing in the game, so they're taking it on board and performing it on the park, especially last night. I think that third goal that Cherny does is one right off the training ground, that give and go and through ball.
Funny enough, I don't know if we can score that goal in Scotland because other teams are that deep. But that's another story. But there was a great goal in shades of Eindhoven, 1978, I think. Yeah. I think Bobby Russell's goal, different, slightly different, but shades off. That's what I'm saying, shades off. He's ran for his own half, yeah.
Your granddad tell you about that one, did he?
He did, mate. He did. He certainly
did. You gave Bridge a chuckle at that one.
I think that might be right. I think that game was originally showed in black and white because Dutch TV didn't have colour, but then it appeared in colour. I don't know what happened. I might be right.
Tommy McLean for him, that right? Read it in his
Tommy
book.
McLean to Bobby Russell, aye. 3-2, yeah.
My dad says it was a great goal.
Aye. There's a header in that night. Derek Johnson puts his header on for, again, this is test my memory, for, I think it was a Kenny Watson shot. And Big DJ puts his head on it. You would have put your head out the way. Have a look. You'll find it on YouTube. He does it.
Aye.
You'd have put your head the other way. You would have been close to it.
Aye, good memories. Great team, great players. I think Eindhoven were undefeated at home for a good wee period. And by the way, I think Fenerbahce but we're on an undefeated run there as well until we come to town. Then the Rangers take over. We done the same with Betis last year, if you remember.
Aye, okay. Right, come and join us. Give your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Give your thoughts on last night. Do you fancy us to get through? Is it giving you a lift? Whatever you want, mate, come on and contribute to Rangers Radio, because we'll be good to hear from people, Robert, wouldn't it?
It's always good to hear the punters, hear their thoughts, how they see the game different, and hopefully there's a wee bit of excitement in there, but also a wee bit of realism that it's still half time, there's a lot of football still to be played, but be good to hear from the callers.
So you're saying they're on an unbeaten run of 18?
Yep, 18 games unbeaten, mate. At home, domestically, they've taken 33 points from a possible 36. So it just shows you what we've accomplished last night.
Aye. I mean, there's a lot of players, named players in their team, but I would say they're quite a mature team, AK.
Aye. Well, Turkey kind of seems to be like that, they've obviously got a lot of Turkey national players playing in their league with their teams, but certainly the Fenerbahces and the Galatasarays, they try and get the name. They've obviously got Mourinho as the name, so he's going to attract them. But St Maximin used to play with Newcastle, and Fred, Dzeko. So there were names that we've seen playing at the English Premiership. They're a decent team, but we kind of went in there a wee bit like Stevie's attitude. Showed them respect in that, but get tore in about them and put it in their faces, and I think that unsettled them.
Aye, we played well. I mean, obviously we worked hard and you get a bit of luck defending, but when we went forward, we played well and we had decent moments, Robert.
There was a lot of chances that, again, although it's 3-1, could have been 5-2 offsides, there was a lot of chances in the final third that on the counter we just looked so dangerous, Ox. And that was a real pleasing, promising thing to see, because we know in the past couple of games over the past few months that when we get to the final third, it just stops. The final ball's not there, we make the wrong decision. But everything last night just seemed to be forward, attacking and positive. Looked a real danger.
See the boy Jeff there. Listen, he's got frailties. He's good defensively. I mean, the one last night he put for a corner kick when there was no danger. In the first few minutes, he get caught, and his runners just tiptoed away from him and moved away from him. But see if he can just tighten up and that. See that asset and that pace, bombing forward late. It's some asset in it, and it also gives you cover if you get it right at the other end.
Aye, definitely. It's just his positional sense, his awareness of what's happening round about him. Somebody might actually, if we continue to play the three at the back, if he's got Balogun in his ear, or if he's got Proper in his ear, even Butland, he'll see the picture in front of him. Just give him a shout and tell him to be aware. Maybe Rare be square on body, turn his body to make sure he's seeing the full picture of who's ahead him and where they're positioning themselves. But these things will come in time, and he's only, what, was it 21 or something he's just turned? He kind of looks older than what he is, but hopefully he learns these things, because he needs to, because he has been caught sweating at Man United and for Queen's Park, and and we're getting punished for these things. So hopefully that improves with time.
Yeah, you grew into the game. And a shout out to young Barron. There's not played a lot of football since the Old Trafford game. He's hardly been on the pitch, and he went on that game and he gave 90 minutes, and I don't think he was our best player, but an unsung hero, if I'm honest. Covered every blade and tries to help the team out. Yeah, he's not the silkiest of players either, but fair play to him for the shift he put in last night, Robert.
Absolutely, mate, and I think that also helped Raskin do a bit more as well off the ball, knowing that there was Diamondi and Barron sitting, and again vice versa for Diamondi, he could go a bit more forward, knowing that Raskin and Barron were there. So it just shows you that that extra man in the middle of the park can help both defensively and attacking. But as you said, coming into the game pretty much cold with no minutes in the legs in terms of match time since the United game, putting in a 90-minute performance. And he was always there, as you said earlier. He was always close to Raskin or Diamondi to kind of clear up as well. But again, a positive performance, and hopefully he kicks on and maybe we see a few more appearances from him over the next few weeks.
AK.
Okay, I mean Barry said that in his first couple of press conferences. He wants competition for places. He wants these players to come back off the injury list. You know, your Sterlings, your Balligans, your Barons, your Danielos. Give us options. If we can rest players, if they're getting near the red zone or whatever it is, at least we can do that. But we need to start winning games, get a build of momentum. I mean, the two games against Fenerbahce and then the upcoming game against Celtic is basically our season. We need to be getting these just to get us through to the end of the season, because if we get knocked out by Fenerbahce, that's it, it's done, it's gone. So at least they've got one last
Turn that frown upside
attempt,
down.
you know.
When are
No,
you gonna-
100%. 100%. No, I'm with it.
Yeah.
But everything, our whole season is on that Europa League. The same as Man United, the same as Spurs. There's a lot of big clubs still in it. And hopefully we get to the quarters and then see who we get. Well, it'll be probably, is it Roma or Bilbao?
Oh, it's going to be there, mate. That's the draw, isn't it?
Aye, Roma's 2-1 up, I think, in the first leg.
Roma scored a late goal to go 2-1 up, but that Bilbao's a good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they overturn it.
Yeah, we could go there and try out the hotels for the final. Robert.
Aye, certainly, mate. Aye, they're hosting in it.
Aye.
Aye, Rangers back in Spain. Could be writing on the wall.
It's mental, isn't it? But listen, if you get to the quarterfinals, you're entitled to dream, Robert.
Obviously, mate, as always. As we said, we've always said every season, Europe is a bonus. There's a lot of financial benefits to it, but if we get deep into competition, we're there on merit. Some of the performances we've put in Europe, we deserve to be where we are. And going into the second leg of the last 16 tie, 3-1 up, you can start to maybe dream a wee bit of a quarter final, but remember it is half time, as we keep saying so far, but you can dream.
You can definitely dream, AK.
Aye, you can't stop the supporters from dreaming, no matter how we kind of look on the outside. We still show up with optimism that we can beat whoever it is we're facing. That's a supporter's entitlement to do that. Aye, you just never know. This Rangers team in Europe just come up with games, surprises. And aye, listen, Ibrox is a big factor, and it's got that reputation back across Europe again. They all know that. I mean, Mourinho, when he seen the draw, he mentioned the stadium, the support, the passion, everything right away. So they're very much aware of who he was up against. But aye, Ibrox is a factor, but we need to be in unison to have any chance here.
Aye, listen, let's get through and see where it takes us. Enjoy it. You just never know. You never know, Robert.
No, you certainly don't, mate, especially the way our season's been. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what Rangers are going to turn up. But Thursday nights seem to be a Rangers night, so keep continuing. Fingers crossed.
Aye, maybe we should just stop playing games at the weekend, AK.
maybe that was in the plans for Queen's Park. We gave ourselves a full week to prepare. But aye. Nah, that is what it is. It would have still rather been nice to be still involved in the Cup. But it's gave us a full week to prepare, so I'm expecting, a good performance. Get that first goal, I think you basically put the tie to bed. But if they score, game on, and then it will be a cracker. Expect a full house at Ibrox Sox, eh?
Yes, mate. Yes. Why not? Good revenue for the club. Merkel efficient points, hopefully, as we can win our home game. Yeah, what's not to like, AK? I mean, Europe's not for everybody, is it?
Absolutely not. I seen a wee thing today, actually, that I think it's...
What you do in your spare time?
I was just out of shower, I was looking in the bathroom. No, Barry Ferguson is won more knockout ties in Europe than Celtic have for the last 20 years. That right? Oh man. See, we get through this. They have no won a knockout tie in Europe for over 20 years.
Was it
and their Barry could do it.
2003? Right?
Aye. Unbelievable. Aye. I hope they're listening.
Oh, they will be.
Oh, aye.
They will be, aye. If we go through, mate, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, some stats. And of course, the whole of Scottish football was delighted with the result last night, Robert.
Why would you not be, Ox? Why would you not be? I'm sure they're all glued into the telly watching, cheering us on. Same again on Thursday.
Be tuned into the telly and watching. That bit's right.
I'm sure they've been cheering all the same. I think it's a good thing, Ox, that we've got a whole week. Obviously, I know we're at the Cup and that's our own downfall, but would you have rather had a game this week to keep the boys ticking over? I think it's a good thing that we've got a week's break to prepare again.
I'd rather be playing in the Scottish Cup this weekend, got to be honest with you. Yeah. But if we speak a week Monday, I might have the answer to that question, if I'm honest, AK.
Aye, who knows? But I'm with you, Ox. I think all the supporters would still rather be looking forward to a Scottish Cup game, but what's done's done. We can't turn back time. We just need to utilise the time. I think Barry says they've got a couple of days off now to recover, and then they'll get back on the training ground and work on certain things. But I think you might have stumbled on a good thing there. If the players are happy with that shape, you say more bodies in the midfield, and then we can, with the ball, without the ball, people need to know their roles and where they should be. It was an excellent performance last night, but it just shows you the attitude and application of the players. When they get it right, we do look a good team. I don't know, Ox, just briefly, I don't know if you've seen the quote from Mourinho as well. He said, what was it? Well, Rangers supporters are, still congratulating them on that victory in Seville all the years ago. But Mourinho said he didn't realise he actually killed Celtic's European exploits all the years ago.
Well, as you said, they've not won a knockout tie since that season, mate.
Yeah.
2003. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Incredible. Jose Mourinho, Rangers manager. How'd you like that one? Press conference would be good.
Well, if you're taking it in last night's game, what manager would you take, Robert?
Based on last night, Barry Ferguson.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Strange. The chosen one over the special one.
That's a bit like you used to on the other night. The chosen one and the special needs one.
Yeah, there was only one. There's only one who's waiting that boy bus, and that was Southside.
Right. Listen, get yourself on mute, because we've reached that time and we're going to have a tune.
boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We support the Glasgow Rangers, do not Ibrox is the place. And we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to queue and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Ago the story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plane. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the
That was a good beat, you Knox.
Yes, yes. That's one of Big Stevie's favourites. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Let's give everybody a lift. I've got to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I didn't see the downs coming. What's happened to Ibrox in the last 3 games. But I didn't see that coming nearer. So it's a roller coaster, Robert.
It certainly is, mate. I mean, you just look at the high we were on coming away from the Kilmarnock game, and then we never seen that result against Motherwell. So you just look at the 2 games alone, and you can just emphasise how much of a roller coaster this team can put you through. But I think, as we've said, European nights at Ibrox just seem to hit different. We seem to up our game. We seem to show a bit more desire and determination in getting a result. So hopefully come Thursday it's the same scenario on the European stage yet again.
Did you mention roller coasters?
I did, but I'm too small to ride them, mate.
No, but the first time that's been said to you, mate, is it?
Not at all.
But you mentioned roller coasters. Well, we've got a roller coaster, but you're on the way down. Let's hear Southside's Super 6.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for the 8th of March. This weekend we're going for over 2.5 goals. Hi, first selection this weekend is Greenock Morton against Ayr United. Second selection is Falkirk and Dunfermline. The third selection Spartans and Stirling Albion. Fourth selection is West Brom and Queen's Park Rangers. Fifth selection is Doncaster and Swindon. And the sixth selection is Salford against Crewe. If you take all 6, it pays 64.5 to win.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Brilliant. I might get Fox to play that later. That cheers you up as well. You feel better when you hear him. He must be dying. AK.
Oh, brilliant. That must be his husky taxi voice coming out in him again there.
Personal stuff, mate. You've been warned.
I tell you, if that one comes in, I think I'll have my finger over the cash out button round about the 60, 70 minutes this week.
Oh, dear. What about that voice? I'm trying to think who he sounded.
Don't mind that old woman in Coronation Street with the blue hair. Who's her name again? Percy.
Oh, dear. Oh, brilliant. Well done, the big man. All the way for Turkey. Does his duty. Does his Southside Super 6. I doff my hat. Well done. And this could be the week, Robert. This could be the week.
So we keep saying, mate, but that cash out just looks more pleasing every week, doesn't it? Big man's due a win, though. Big man's due a win.
Well, we're now getting close to 150 lines, mate. He's had one up.
Hey, you've got money up in the last two.
2 of the last 3, I think, is it? 2 of the last 3 or 2 weeks in a row? Is it? Okay,
Aye.
2 out of 3, isn't it?
Aye, he's doing all right.
Aye. I don't get any rewards or any thanks for it when I mention it to people, you know. I don't feel any love back.
I know. That says more about you than does them.
You're mixing me up for somebody who gives a. Yeah. Right. Listen, so we're all laughing and joking, and I'll be honest with you. If you go back 4 days, we were all flat. Monday, flat. Tuesday, flat. That's fair, isn't it, Robert?
Yep. Certainly is.
You know, and then all of a sudden you've got this up on this roller coaster. We'll not mention it too much to Robert, but you're up on the roller coaster, AK. And the frustrations are in it. What I would like to ask the listeners, and if they can help me out, by all means, why is this happening? What's the reason? Is it the officials? Is it the players' attitude? Is it, I don't know, is it the open games of football? Why? I mean, let's be honest. Fenerbahce been placed at Murn, horrible, and they take 5 or 6 after them. Yeah, let's be honest, AK.
Aye.
So why is, and this is causing more frustration for the support or more questions and answers, because you just can't put your finger on it.
Aye, I know. I mean, I'll put it to you two and the listeners, and it'd be great if we get callers in there. Do you actually feel cheated a wee bit with the players that does come on, and all the previous managers feel cheated with the players? Because where you're coming from, I mean, we shouldn't really be getting the results we're getting in Europe, because there's far better teams on paper than what we're playing against. So it's got to be like an attitude. It's got to be like maybe officialdom, we're a wee bit more fair. That teams are open and leave, you know, spaces in behind that we can pick them off. They can also pick us off, or this low block that we're facing, basically what 90% of the league we're coming up against, we just really struggle with it. So I think there's a number of factors of what you're saying there.
Robert?
you could name a number of things, mate, that could go against us, whether it be that low block, the officials in Scotland. But I've always said mentality is a big thing. And I think AK's right in what he says about feeling a bit cheated. We know that these players have got potential, especially on the European stage. And that is a real frustration that they don't seem to carry it over into the league games when it really matters. I mean, as I said, Europe's a bonus, but bread and butter is the league form. And that is the biggest frustration this season, that when we've been on a high in Europe, like the results are a draw against Spurs when we should have won, and then getting into obviously a cup final, losing out in penalties, but then from there, it's that roller coaster of it, that kind of downward spiral that we went on, dropping points against Motherwell, St Mirren, Hibs. They don't seem to just carry it on. There's no momentum taken from a high or a buzz from a European night into the league. And that is a real frustration for me personally, that we know they can do it. They just don't seem to manage it for some bizarre reason.
Aye. Listen, I get everybody's frustrations, you know. Everybody's, because I can't put my finger on it. There's no an obvious answer, you know. And we've got guys that have been absolutely stinking. We've slaughtered Dessers. We've Butland got it last weekend, and rightly so. Yeah. But last night, 2 fantastic saves. Couldn't fault him for the goal. You know, listen, if he gets a bit of luck, he might get his fingers on it, it goes over the bar. That's just luck, because the boy was that close and hit it so well. But, you know, and we've questioned Diamondi's disappeared in games. Raskin hadn't played well the last couple of weeks. That performance last night, you know. Dessers. Was it Marinos? He played like the best player in the world. I never thought that was coming, did you?
No, certainly no the words out of Mourinho, Smith, but it just shows you, see, when we do get that's probably as close to a first 11 as what we've had for most of the season. So I think there is factors with who's available for selection, the strength of the squad, the kind of younger players, well, like say Yefty, Diamondi, Cherny, even getting used to the league and the different places where they have to go. But I think a lot of it comes from within. Their attitude, they've got to have the sleeves rolled up. You've got to have the battle. You've got to win that battle in the midfield in particular. You've said it for long enough, Oxford. I don't know why it's not been recognised before. See, when you play that 2 in the midfield, you really need your forward guys working back. And I don't think Cherny enjoys doing that. To be fair, Ryan Kent did a lot of that. Even Aribo was always. But see if the guys are no doing their work, everything, the cog in the wheel just comes off and everything looks disjointed. Then I think that might be the way to go now. 3-5-2, you know, ball retention, speed of play, just everything, get more bodies in the box, things like that.
Listen, one of my frustrations with Philip Clement, and I don't want to go back to your old grun, is I think if you don't change your personnel or your shape, or if things aren't working, you just take off one outside left, put on another, and then you've not done a lot doing that side of the park the whole game. Part of a manager's job is personnel, of course, set the team up, but it changes. I'm not in the Warburton camp, and it's just me. People will be different. No, plan A's not working. They plan A better. Aye, that can work sometimes, but if you're up against a guy that's a lot faster than your right back, and he's just running away from him, you've got to change your shape, Robert. I just think if you don't do that and you don't change your shape, what is the point of having a manager?
Yeah, right, mate. They're the ones that should recognise it. I know it's a lot easier for us watching it on the telly or whatever, but they've got to recognise when a team is basically hitting their weak side or targeting an individual. I mean, I said it earlier on, they brought on St Maximin last night and they got a bit of joy down that left-hand side. Our management staff recognised that and they took Yilmaz off, who he did look like he was starting to struggle a wee bit in terms of the legs, but they brought Sterling on, and the minute they changed the personnel, it wasn't exactly the shape they changed, it was the personnel. The boy didn't get a look in past Sterling at all. So yeah, even that alone that change stopped them and made us a bit stronger. But again, as you say, if you're not changing a formation or an approach to a game, if it's just like for like, it's just one off and one on to do the exact same job. And we've done that far too many times this season.
Aye, to be fair to Redvan, he'd be, when me and AK be on the roller coaster, he'd be on the teacups with you, wouldn't he? You know
He
what I
would,
mean?
mate. Aye. I'm taller than him. I'm taller than him, but it's all right.
You know?
I'd hold his hand.
But what I would say is, and it's even during the game, if things aren't working, you change your shape. You know, you've got to be flexible. That's what I think a manager's job is, to allow me staff to picking that up and say, that's not working, we're getting outnumbered in here, we have to change it. In a close game. And then you might be on top and you just tweak things and you force other teams to do things that they don't want to do. I just see it as part of top level management, AK.
Aye, no, you're 100% right. And the best managers and coaches, they do that game management. Even some players, comes for your leader. They'll recognise where somebody's needing a hand and, you know, help out their pal. But you get a better picture probably off the park or maybe even up in the stand. When you get back to mind, we played St Mirren in the League Cup final, we're down to 9 men, and Walter's watching up. But as soon as we went down to 9 men, he came along and, you know, McCoy's was in charge. He says, no, you need to start pulling guys in there, you go there. It was brilliant tacticians for Walter, but that's what they do. They make a difference. That's their job to do that and recognise it and change it. You see a lot of even Postecoglou and they call him Arteta. They get into their own stubborn ways and they're making a road for their own back. And I suppose you could aim that at Clement. You know, even the Man United manager, Amarim, I'm no changing my 4-3-3. He's going to end up getting sacked out of that. You've got to prove to be adaptable.
Other teams know exactly what you're going to do and can set up to stuff you.
Yep.
And
you become predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But if you change it, and you can change it and move back. If you can't do that, you can start differently, change back again. That's all part of the game, Robert, isn't it? At top level, it's different when you're playing on a Saturday afternoon, amateur stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And I think that's one thing we did last night. I think as good as Mourinho is as a coach and a manager, I don't think he'd have predicted us changing formation to the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, whatever it kind of looked as on the telly.
Well,
but
did you think it would happen?
No, not at all, mate. As I said, when the initial team sheet came out, I thought it was just a 4-3-3. 4-2-3-1 still with Yilmaz on the left wing or Yeft in the left wing. But the fact that we changed that threw Fenerbahce off, and it just shows you a wee tweak and you can get something out the game. Again, when you're saying it there, you can revert back with that personnel we had on last night and in that shape. We could have changed it into the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1 at any given opportunity, but it was going well, so we stuck with the shape, and all we had to do was change the personnel when it mattered, just for legs near the end of the game.
Here's a question for you, AK, yeah?
Yep, carry on.
What was Mourinho's shape in the second half?
the Alamo. He was just all out attack, try and get in the game, but we picked him off, and he probably didn't expect that. But that's Czerny's quality, though, isn't it? You know, he's pacey and he's cool. Rob intimated earlier about his who was it again? You said Billy Dodd's effect on Dessers.
Yep.
Is Neil McCann got that same influence on Czerny? Because McCann was a great player and finisher. Very, very cool.
Czerny, 16 goals this season. I don't think McCann ever get anywhere near that, mate.
Aye. I know, but I'm just saying, for instance, I thought it was very, very cool. He's two finishes, in fact, but particularly the second one.
Aye. Here's a question for you too. Would you sign him, Robert? Yes or no?
If the money's right, yes.
That's a loaded answer. AK, yes or no?
It's a loaded question. If we've got the money, I'd like to sign him, but I fear we don't. But see, when you look at our lone players the last couple of years, they've had a great effect on our team. Seema and Tillman before that. 6.5 million's a big output, though.
Would you, Ox?
They stats are impressive, mate, 16 goals and, he's obviously got a few assists. I don't know exactly his numbers with assists. But he's a good footballer. I don't know if he's suited to a domestic game, particularly away for him. There you go. Is that harsh, AK?
I can see where you're coming from, but maybe he could get used to it. It's only his first season. But I know where you're coming from. We need to bulk up a bit to become.
No, he's not going to change, mate. He's a mature player. It's the heart and the dog, no, the dog.
Aye. Well, he's 25, 26, something like that, isn't he? But I know what you're saying, but he's a good outlay to have. Here another question for these Ox as well. Now when we're picking apart our team when it wasn't playing well and individuals weren't playing well, speaking to my dad, see, you cast your mind back. Remember at this time last year, Lundstrom went off the boil. Roof didn't come back into the team at all. Jack didn't. Barisic went off the boil. All guys that were told probably they were leaving at the end of the season. Did you think Butland's been told he's not got a future after this season? Tavernier. Who else? Matondo.
No, I think the difference is that it's up to Butland, Tavernier. What did they make? Because they've got contracts for another year. I think the guys, their time was up and were maybe hoping to get deals and they were told they weren't getting deals. I don't think you're comparing apples for apples, Robert.
No, I don't think so, mate, as well. I think there's been a lot of other matters, whether it be on the park and off the park, that probably the conversations with players, we don't even know what's going to happen, we don't even know what managers are going to be in place, there's still a takeover. I think there's a lot of stuff to be kind of settled out before we look at who's going to be there next season.
But I take your point, AK, but I think there's, I'm swinging Robert's way that, listen, we're always interested in players and signings in the squad, but I think the football takes centre stage on Thursday, possibly next Sunday, and then hopefully more European ties. However, the big story in the big picture is what's happening in After Park, yeah?
Oh, aye, definitely. No, I'm just putting it, thinking out loud a wee bit. What's the reason for all these players getting off form at the same time? Because it happened last year. And
what have I told you about thinking, mate? What have I told you?
Aye. Anyway, we've got a visitor.
Oh, yes. I hope he sounds better. Evening, my big mucker.
All right, lads, how you doing? All right?
You sound a bit better.
Salt water, this goes a long way, mate.
This goes. Did you say salt water? This goes?
No, salt water, no discos, no.
All right, I don't know. I missed it.
Anyway, I remember you said you wouldn't have played. You said you wouldn't have played CD9 on Thursday night, if you remember back.
No, I wouldn't have done that. After, one of my reasons was that I felt it would be more effective in the second half.
I remember you saying that.
That was my rationale. And by the way, what a game he had. If you slaughter somebody, you get them stick, mate. You've got to give them praise when they play well.
Of course you do. It was perfect for that type of game. I think he's done it in Europe this year, Olympiacos and that. He was good because he played a high line. And I think he likes to get into the positions, and if he can knock the ball and get them facing their goal on the ball, I think he's a different player. But I think he worked hard on it. Listen, the whole team were, for the first leg, the whole team were absolutely tremendous last night. Worked hard, rode a luck a wee bit at times, but at the same time, because they have loads of problems, tactically, the management team got it perfect, and they had to carry out a game plan. And we gave up a couple of chances. There was a couple of harem-scarum moments, but listen, you're in Europe, and you're away from home, and even at home, you're at a higher, different level of football. And I thought if probably last night, if you look at all the Europa League results, and everybody's looking at the results of what they thought, we're going to stand out a mile. We're going to Fenerbahce, 18 games, I think it is, undefeated since about December in the league. And we go there and we come away with a 3-1 victory. And by all accounts, looking back at the photographs and stuff, we could have come back with a lot more than the 3-1 score, with a bit of luck. But when you look at the goal we got on the line, and you seen how he was offside, just in the first goal especially. There wasn't much in it, and that's the margins. But a 3-1 victory in the first leg in Turkey away from home against that sort of team with the calibre of players. A few older players, but they're a good team. It was a great result and a great performance, but the job's not done yet. It'll be hard again at Ibrox. Definitely hard at Ibrox, but fantastic result for the Rangers last night.
If I'm honest, Southside, I didn't see that coming. You hope, of course you hope, yeah? But I didn't see that result coming there.
I think we were a bit apprehensive because of the form we'd been in. Lately, it's been poor. But for some reason, Thursday nights come along, they seem to be able to rise to that occasion. But a hard-working performance, loads of good performances. Butland, as we said before, I said Aubert was on, and he gave reasons why. He thought Butland saves for yardage and that, and he's better protection. And I got what he was saying, but I said he was miles off for him. He was well out of form, and he's costing it. At some point, you have to come out the team. But last night, when you're in Europe, as we've seen McGregor, Gorham, Kloss and Chris Woods over the years and everything else, eventually you rely on your goalkeeper in European nights. And last night, he turned up and produced the big saves when needed. So we've got to praise him for that, because they were low down at each end, and he managed to get down there and get it round the post. And that 3-1 makes a bigger difference at Ibrox next week.
Right. Just take the goals in reverse order, mate. The third goal, I know you're at the opposite end of the park, mate, but I did mention last night, I mentioned it tonight, similarities to Bobby Russell's goal, the deep run, the pass, and running on it and put it in the net, eh?
Aye, there is, aye. Dartsville, I think, got one and all against Sporting Lisbon, I think it is away. Something similar, but aye, similar to that and all. It was a great pass, wasn't it? He just lays it back and he just drilled it right into that space. And sometimes you see Tierney doesn't have a lot of pace, but he was certainly on his bike, wasn't he? And he scored a few like that lately, running in with just the goalkeeper to beat. And he managed to put it on. I think he done one earlier on in the campaign. He put it by the post, if you remember. Was it Olympiacos, maybe? I can't remember. But he certainly finished it with aplomb last night. And I thought Diamandi and all worked really, really hard, buzzed about the park. Thought it was another good game for him in Europe last night.
Shuffles, mate, on the ball were excellent,
He does a lot of work, and sometimes you think he's running into trouble and then he just turns and he manages to me. But I think what he does in Europe for the team, and I think we missed him at Manchester. I think he'd have been ideal down there. But last night I thought he was tremendous. They were all work. You couldn't really say anything. Everybody that came on after it played a part and done their bit. But certainly didn't expect the formation that he played, but it seemed to work.
Aye, in the second half, it frees up Jeffy, didn't it?
Aye, he was a wee bit shaky at times, Jeffy. I thought a couple of mad moments, same as I think Redfern had a mad moment and all. I don't know what he was doing, past the ball, about edge of the box or something. They'd do one of them. But I mean, Big Shooter was outstanding. Proper started really well. He'd won a few headers. He was comfortable on that side, the way we were passing the ball about. He made a really good tackle at one point. He was solid in a tackle. And then obviously Butland decided to take him out. And then obviously Balogun come on and managed to win a lot of headers, which they were doing it. Listen, they didn't seem to try and play through as much. It was more get boys to wings and float high balls in all the time, because they obviously thought that was a weakness. But I thought we had chances to go and get them. I think in the return leg, I think we've got chances to score against them. Will just be how we approach the game.
I think we'll score at Ibrox. I'm confident we'll score at Ibrox, mate. Yeah. But, as you said, the tie's no done. Robert, and you come?
No, they're certainly not, mate. And I don't anticipate that Fenerbahce will approach the game the same way they did last night. I think you'll see a bit more attacking threat from them. Probably a few personnel changes because they're chasing the game. But it is about getting that first important goal, mate. It sets the tone. And if we get it, then our tails are up and we can not take the foot off the gas, but relax a wee bit with a 3-goal cushion compared to a 2, because even if they get an equaliser, you've still got a 2-goal margin compared to a 1, and that makes it a bit more comfortable viewing, and it also makes it comfortable for the players as well, that they can play with a bit of freedom and go and enjoy it, the occasion, but go and finish the game off most importantly.
Before I bring AK in, put you on the spot for man of the match, Southside, hard one.
Aye. Normally I would go with the goal scorers, because that is the most important thing. It's either you play well in midfield or whatever. I'm going to tip it to Butland, actually, because I've criticised him a couple of weeks ago. He was miles off for him. We all seen it. I did say that if it keeps up, I'd rather just put Kelly in for the league games going forward. I said these 3 games he had to go out and prove himself and show us why we brought him here. He needs to turn up in the big games, and last night he turned up, and it's crucial locks that he pulled these saves off. Raskin, to a man, they were immense. Suter, Balogun, and Dessers contributing, involved in 5 goals, could have had a hat-trick, but Butland for me kept us going ahead now at 3-1. He had 2 really good important saves to make, and he made them. So I'd slightly geek to him, just because he's been in for a lot of criticism. He's let himself down and the club down, the support down, and last night I thought he turned up.
Listen, I mean, I think that's the 5th man of the match. We've had AK, we've had Southside's went for Butland. I think Bridge went for Balogun. He said how he considered it come on. I went for Raskin. Somebody else went for Dessers, and somebody went for Tierney. That says it all, really, doesn't it? It was a team performance.
Aye, the spine of the team, I thought was excellent. It'd be interesting if Southside, did you see a kind of difference with the shape, where the ball, without the ball? Did it look organised? Things like that. Obviously, you got a different perspective being there than watching on the telly. And do you feel there's a wee bit of similarities between this run in Europe to Seville?
I think sometimes in the middle of the park there was huge holes at times. I think we dropped 2 deep, and there was like a lot of space, and then it changed because we got a lot of space. Sometimes you could see Tierney in the middle of the park, Stoney, Diamante, loads of space. It was a bit mental because both teams sort of gave up a chunk. It might not have looked like it, but there's chunks of space in the middle of the park. I think it was a good system. It looked at first a bit defensive, thinking, well, I was actually thinking I must be playing Ridvan up on the left or something. That's what most people would probably have thought. It would have been Ridvan or Yefty playing wide left here, and then suddenly you change and you see a back 5 or a back 3. But obviously when you having to drop in, which seemed to suit, Barron was a good foil. Listen, AK, it's only one leg done yet. We have got a massive game next Thursday. Crowd will be up for it. And I think maybe we should maybe go and have a go for 20 minutes in the first 20 minutes and see if we can get that goal, increase the lead. Then they need 5. Because at the end of the day, they only need 2. And we've got to try and score on the night. You could go and say, well, we'll do the same thing again. It'll probably work, but it might not work. We're at home, so why not have a wee bit more courageous? I think we could get at them. I don't think their defence is that great. Other people might think, no, do the same tactics, sit in and hit them on the bright, and they let them force them to come in us. But they'll certainly come. They'll put a lot of balls in, aerial balls. If you give them space, you can certainly see they can play. But they're at Ibrox now, and they'll bring a good support, and they'll be loud, obviously. But it's our home game, and Thursday nights are special at Ibrox, and we've seen it many a time. So why no again this Thursday?
Yeah, we'll need to sheesh the away support. Anyway, we've been joined by Bob Jar. Evening, Bob Jar.
Good evening, lads. I'm still coming down off the high last night. And I'm seeing one or two people today saying, it's not over, it's not over. Like, we don't know that. Of course we do. We'll have to do our best again on Thursday night to overcome this team. We've seen them, we know their capabilities, and we know the job in hand. And it's been a fantastic run, a fantastic campaign, and hopefully after Thursday night it continues. And I'm confident that it can. If we go about it the right way, I'm confident we can get by this team. We're the ones that are winning 3-1, know them. So over to you, Mr. Mourinho. Didn't forget the time. Sorry, Ox. Didn't forget the time we went to the final. Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos were outstanding. Up till you got hurt in the quarter final at Red Star. But I think this team's done really well, and Europe done excellently well to get with us. A lot of teams they wish they were in our position now. That's all I can say. Right, Ox. Sorry, when you go, mate.
No, you're right, Bob Jar. Europe's not for everybody, you know. AK.
Aye, too true, Ox. Oh, great to hear you being positive there, Bob Jar. It's good. It's good to eventually get a good performance, a good result, and send everybody home happy. Aye, it's one game at a time, isn't it? It's the old adage. Barry's already spoke about it after the game. He's under no illusion. It's just half time. But aye, Southside says himself, they've got nothing to lose now, isn't it? They're going to all out attack at Ibrox. I've got a feeling he'll probably go with the same team and hopefully we pick them up. But I think if we score 2, then I think they're no scoring 4, I don't think. So that'll do me. Even just win the game. That's it.
Aye. Robert?
Aye, good to hear from you, Bob Jar. It's certainly a feel-good factor. Again, as we've always known, these European nights, they bring a different feeling, a different atmosphere about the place, and I hope it does just carry on in next Thursday. I'm the same as AK. I think, obviously, we'll see how proper it is, but I think if you put Balogun in, that's that team that played the majority of that game last night starts again on Thursday. I mean, you wouldn't change a winning side, would you? So hopefully they take the same approach and application and the desire to go and win the game and give the fans something to cheer about come Thursday night. And as you say, Bob Jar, that European run continues into the next round at least.
Well, you're talking about the next round there, Robert. We would face Atletico Bilbao or Roma. And I didn't see them, how can I put it? I wouldn't say they're better than Fenerbahce, but they'll be on a par with them, I would say. So if we can beat Fenerbahce, I'll be confident we can go by one of the two.
Listen, obviously AK's hoping for the Roma tie so he can catch up with the rest of his family, you know. But I think it'd be good for Southside to get to Bilbao so he can get the dig sorted for the final. Southside.
Going there twice wouldn't be a bad thing, would it? Listen, we've got to get by Fenerbahce first, right? That's the first thing, mate, you know. But listen, it gives us a chance to think what Zahidi is. It's Zahidi to look to see what Zahidi is, and I don't know if Roma's definitely going to get through that game yet either. But maybe Bilbao will tip them in the second leg, but we've got to get by them. And then, listen, if we get by them, then everybody's allowed to dream after that, isn't we? But it's a massive game on Thursday night. It'll be interesting because we've got the 2-goal cushion and it's how we approach it. I think you've got to come out and think that we need to come out and try and get a goal. I think that's what we should do. No go too gung-ho, but a bit more, maybe on the front foot slightly, but at home we want to come out and start fast. We might score in the first 10 minutes.
Did I mishear you there? Did you say gung-ho?
Gung-ho, aye.
All right. Just you mentioned that 60-41.
Is it? Aye. Well, there you go. 60-41. Aye.
Aye. All right. We nearly fell off.
You'll be looking for 5, wouldn't you? One each, and then you'll be kerching.
You'll be cashing out at half time, Southside.
Up to date. 60-41.
It's about that. It must be it.
Pay for a Bilbao trip, AK.
And then some for the final and all.
Oh dear. Brilliant, big man. Southside, it would be remiss of me just to change the tone slightly. Obviously tragic, one of our own lost his life. I suppose that really would have spread around the support the game and the day before. Sorry, let me get this right, the timing it. It happened the day of the game, didn't it? Or, yeah?
Earlier in the morning, aye.
Aye. So tragic, and takes a gloss off everything, puts everything into perspective. But the Bears have rallied it.
Aye, there's a page been set up and it's doing really, really well at the moment. There's been a couple of decent contributions for certain people out there that have came forward and put a few quid in. But it's sad, nobody has to go to a football game, never come home. We've experienced it on a few occasions as a support, unfortunately. And it was sad to hear. And thoughts about the family and a lot of friends, and there's a lot of supporters there obviously knew the boy.
Aye, sadly. And I would pass on my condolences once again. We done it last night. I just wanted your take on it, mate, because you were there. I'm sure everybody would agree. Best wishes to all his friends and family. Listen, how was it over there? Was it as hostile as they make out? I've no Turkey's one place I haven't watched football, mate. And you hear all these things. What was your take on it?
Aye. No, they're loud. They're certainly loud and they're passionate about their support in the stadium. You know, they were pretty constant. You could hear it all in the stadium. You know, they're backing their team. Obviously, the decibels go up when the two goals get disallowed, and it's certainly a lot louder. And they were certainly backing their team. But aye, it's one of them. Entrance in, bus journey up to the ground, that 2.5 hours and stuff. No great. And then try to get in the stadiums, which you find in a lot of European grounds away from him, aren't they great to get into, and that part. Apart from that, everything was fine. A wee bit chilly on the day, but aye, so a wee win in Europe, mate, and that's what you want to see. If you can get a draw, you're happy, but to get the win's always a bonus.
Aye, I mean, what is that? We've only lost one away game this season in Europe. Is that right?
Leon.
Man United.
Man United away game, aye. And the Leon game at
home. Kiev, we obviously drew with them in Poland. Then we went to Malmo and won. We've won in Nice. Drew in Athens. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's unbelievable, mate, isn't it?
Aye. When you look at this, you look at the teams that we're playing at the moment, and the level that we've had to play it to qualify to start with. I mean, it is supposed to be the lesser tournament out the two, but you've got some big teams in there. And Fenerbahce, a Turkish team at home with that record and that form that they're in, and us coming into it with our type of form in the league and cup. But our European form certainly showed that we could cause problems and we could score goals if you looked at it from that point of view. So the European form, we turned up and we scored 3 goals on the night and we could have had 5. So that aspect of it, we're certainly putting ourselves on the map in Europe. It's coefficient points for us and for the rest of them, I suppose. Plus, it gets us a win in Europe, which is more money again as well. As hopefully we qualify, and that'll give us another wee juicy jackpot on top.
It's all positive, Robert.
It certainly is, mate. You always know you get into these kind of later stages of European game, you're there on merit, and you get the financial benefits of it as well. And it's great for the supporters like Southside that can travel to these away games in their numbers, cheer the boys on, and it's always a good thing to see, especially when we do travel in our large numbers to these tough away grounds in Fenerbahce. The stadium looked immaculate. I'll be honest, it looked pretty good on the pictures, on the telly. The only thing I would say, Southside, is how was the turnstiles? They looked a bit cramped.
Aye, put you into a cage. If you're 6 foot, you couldn't stand up inside them when you're getting the entry in, they walk a line to come in. It was a bit mental, but aye, even the polos were great. They were no problem, which sometimes you find can be a bit touch and go with certain polos. Usually find it's usually Italy and Spain that give you more grief. When you go sort of the places apart from Eastern European countries. But aye, your polos were great, and it was a bonus and all that although they're all righted up, they were quite happy to have a joke and a laugh.
See that stadium south side? Hello, can you hear me, pal?
Aye.
Is it on the European side of Istanbul?
That's
it's
on
in
the,
East.
it's on the Asian side, isn't it?
Aye, look
It's
across
on
the
the
bridge.
Asian
You know.
side, is it? Aye.
Anyway, talking about people on the different side of the water. We joined with Al.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Evening out.
Evening, everybody.
Now,
Evening.
How are we doing, Al?
I'm doing good. I just thought I'd give you a call. I haven't called for a little while. And it was a fabulous night last night, and it's been depressing being a Rangers fan for the last few months. Really depressing. And it's nice that we've all got a spring in our step today. But that was a fabulous result. Fenerbahce are not an easy team. They've, I think it was 12 games unbeaten in Europe at home, and 19 unbeaten at home domestically against a top manager. It's not to be sniffed at. That was a great result.
One thing that lifts the depression, Al, is a good cash out. AK.
Aye, well, aye. Deal or no deal, as you would say. But me and Southside go all in. But you might be the wise one, but I've got every faith in them. Go all in. But aye, no, brilliant result last night. Good to hear from you there, Al. And it's good stats. Rob read a lot of stats earlier as well. It's a good scalp, but it's only half time, so take them back at Ibrox now. Eh?
Absolutely. I think we will. It's been tough at Ibrox, but it was sad to see the manager go, but I think it was time. He needed to go, and tried to figure out what the hell's going on with the club, right? I've always said there's a culture within the club, but I think we talk about Jimmy Bell, right? But there's not been a Rangers man round about the first team for a long period of time. It's nice to see McCann, Dodds, and Ferguson back in there. Ferguson, a lifelong supporter, player, manager, brother played under Souness, and it's just he has to install what it means to play for Rangers, because they all think they know what it means, but truly I don't think they've ever known. So I think that's the problem we've had, and it's good to see him in there, because I think he can make a difference in the next 3 months.
Can I, before I take that round the panel, because some good points in there, Al, can I ask you something, mate? I know you're in Canada and you're not in the USA, and maybe thankfully for you, you're not in the USA. But however, the story about the 49ers and the takeover of the Rangers that's going through, has it made the media in North America?
Yeah, it's in the New York Times. It's in all the big publications. So definitely looks like it's happening, and that's what we need, a cash injection. So as long as the guys at the club can get can give away 51%, because they've always said they don't want one person owning the club, but you've got 51%, you technically can do what you want, right? But I think that's what we need, because it's the financial thing of it as well. That we need money into the club, But yeah, it's well known over here, So yeah, it's definitely in the news for sure.
All right, and we've seen one of your famous actresses wearing, a Canadian actress wearing a strap.
Oh yeah, the girl from Pretty Little Liars, I think it was, something like that. Yeah, the actress. I did see that. That was actually hit the news as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Shay Mitchell. We'll keep Robert and AK away for that. Yeah, take the points, Robert, that Al made about the team and the performance last night.
Aye, evening Al. Good to hear from you, mate. Aye, the performance, we've all said it, mate. We didn't expect that level of performance, or let alone the result happening last night. I think it was just based on what we'd seen over certainly the Motherwell game, first and foremost, but over the past few weeks and months with this squad. But you know yourself, a European night, we'd seem to get a lift, we seem to get a buzz, the players thrive on it, and they done their job last night. The formation change, the personnel, the tactics, it was all spot on. And as we've always said, we'll criticise, but you've got to give praise where it's due, and certainly the management staff, the players, to a man last night, deserve every ounce of praise to get. And hopefully now it is just take the game back to Ibrox and see the game out, and as you say, look forward to hopefully another European game beyond then. But it's just about keeping the heads And as I said earlier on the show, treat the game as 0-0. It's a cup final, as the old cliche is, 0-0 cup final, and just go and win the game. Forget about what's ahead of you for those 90 minutes and just enjoy it as well, playing in front of the supporters.
Yep.
AK.
Just to follow up for that, it's a great point you make about the kind of Rangers connection, and obviously missing Jimmy Bell. There's a few who said that on here over the years. We've never really replaced that factor in the dressing room, where they can send the message to the players to try that wee bit harder, what it means to the support, what it means to wear that jersey. I mean, last night, it's no coincidence we had the likes of Suter out in the park and young Barton out in the park, a wee bit of that Scottish element. We've been missing that, obviously, with them two been injured. So having Barry in there and Neil and Billy and Alan McGregor is a good thing for us as a support, that we can relate back to that dressing room. If Barry doesn't get the job permanently, who knows what will happen? But I would like at least 2 or 3 that coaching staff to keep in there to provide a continuity between the dressing room, the support, and the message to him. If it is just for talk's sake, there's been a lot of names that's floating about, but say for instance a Rafa Benitez or whatever, I don't think that will ever happen. But keep Barry in there with the proviso that he's going to learn and bring them up to be like the manager the way Walter did with Souness. I think that would be a good thing.
I think if the manager comes in and he's high profile, mate, he'll want his own people. That's the way it goes. But I get your point, and there's a strong argument towards it. Southside then, Bob.
I think if there's any way in the future we can go and see Jim McAllister go camp in hand, because how he gets treated at Rangers Football Club is disgraceful for Michael Beale and Bisgrove. He was well liked within the club for the players. He was good at his job. He was handpicked for Jimmy to come into the club. He's a right good blue nose. Aye, he played with Martin in it. He was a right good blue nose. And if there's any way forward, maybe when the new mob come in, there might be a place at Ibrox back for him, because I think he probably would come back to the club in a minute when the regime changes. But Rangers Football Club treated him disgracefully, and I think if there's any chance, I would go back and try and get him. He was similar to Jimmy, well liked by the players and set standards, and was well liked, as I said. So if there's any way forward in the future, I'd like to hope he'd come back in the kitman role again.
Yeah, Stevie G took him out to Saudi, didn't he?
Aye. I was. I'm not going to go into it. But he was treated bad. It could have been dealt with a lot better. Aye, and the fact that Beale and Bisgrove was the two that eventually got him out the club, it was poor. Poor decision making.
Bob, Chair.
Well, I'm in agreement to that there's always going to be Rangers-minded people at the club. That's just what we've been lacking for a while. We've been doing man nothing anyway for this past while. There's nobody, that's really Rangers-minded. We've got 4 of them there now. They did a great job last night. Hopefully they continue with their great job. Doing their great job, sorry. So, onwards and upwards, Rangers. Ox, can I ask you something, pal? It's 50 years ago on Monday when my young... it's 50 years ago on Monday when my young brother died in a tragic car accident. And he was a real Rangers supporter. And if I can come on Monday night and say a wee word for him, take me just a minute. I'm not going to babble on for 10 minutes, quarter of an hour or anything. Just take me just a wee minute. If I can do that on Monday night, I'd appreciate it.
Not a problem, mate.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, lads, good night to you all. That's my last word. Have a nice weekend and a nice relaxing weekend. Watch them all kicking lumps out of one another. And we'll be there next Thursday. On the Bears. See you later, boys.
Take care,
Bob. Right, God, I don't know where the times went tonight, but we've reached that time. Al, you need to come in sooner. You can't be working on a Friday. You must be finished early on a Friday, Al.
Nah, I'm still on the clock, but I'm down tools. I'm not. I thought I'd down tools and give you a call, take a quick break. But
You phone AK at 9 o'clock in the morning, he's down too.
Hey, scurrilous rumours.
Last word for your good self, we are.
well, thanks for taking the call. It was nice to call in and say hi and chat with you guys again. And it was a good result last night. And what Bob Gerald was saying there, it's kind of a sad story he said there. It was sad what happened to the fan out there. Just goes to show us there's more things, that's more important than football. But we do love a great result, and Rangers definitely pulled it out maybe for that fan as well. So great show, guys. Keep it going, and I'll talk to you guys again later.
Cheers, Al. Cheers, mate. Southside.
Aye, tremendous result last night for the Rangers. Got a wee weekend break, time to get everybody back fit on Monday and set the plan for Thursday. So looking forward to Thursday night. I'm sure Ibrox will be rocking, and rightly so, and hopefully we'll cheer the team to victory. So just like to thanks for taking my call and letting us come on. And by the way, AK, it was never a blue bus, it was a grey bus, as you should know, you used to go to school on. So you get that one right. Sitting reading your people's
You were
friend.
wearing the pointy cap.
Well, I got a text about it. So just cleared that one up. You should know it was a wee grey bus. He used to go on.
Don't worry. It wasn't his fault. He was stuck to the window. Right. Robert.
Aye, good show tonight, mate. Cheers for having us. Good to be on with yourself and AK. Good result last night, and as Southside said, a wee weekend off, unfortunately. But let's look forward to Thursday night and hopefully another great European night. Cheers for having me, pal.
Yep. Listen, aye, Robert, good to have you on, mate. Enjoyed it. AK.
Oh, great show tonight, Ox. Good to have the callers coming in and joining us, and of course, Southside straight back for Turkey. Yourself, Rob, the Techie team. Hope everybody enjoyed it listening there. Just thank you, mum. That's all I'll say.
Right, and listen, mate, you and the Kelly family, all the best, mate. Keep your chin up. I know you're going through the ringer a wee bit just now. Hope Mrs. K's all right, and you'll look after that father of yours.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Ox.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Listen, we all laugh and joke, but there is sometimes men important in football, Southsider.
100%, mate. 100%.
Aye, 100%. Listen, thanks to Robert and AK for doing the show, and joined by Southside, the one and only Southside, who actually sounds a lot better than he did when he did his Super 6. We Al, Bob Ger, and thanks to them all joining us. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio, unfortunately, we'll not be back to Monday night because there's no game this weekend. Thanks for listening. We'll be back at 8 o'clock and we'll start the build up to the Fenerbahce game. And you never know, we just might have a wee quiz this week, a European quiz. And maybe Wednesday would be a good night. What do you think, AK?
Aye, at Southside, we are the hard ones.
Thanks for listening. Enjoy your weekend. Take it away, Old School Blue.